There are so many new settings this year on FC25 that try and enhance the game. And one of those main ones for me were the simulation sliders being added into it. It's something we've seen in Madden as years have gone by and other sports games. The ability to choose between an arcade mode and a sim mode has been in them for a long time. But it is finally in FC25. And I thought after around 30 hours with this game, maybe it's time to talk about my experience so far with simulation sliders, and maybe if you should use them yourselves. Now, as a YouTuber, I've always found it difficult to try and find the balance between realism, fun, and entertainment when it comes to the YouTube save. I was pretty optimistic going into this year that having a simulation slider set to start the game off with would change that. I wouldn't have to tweak the sliders all year round, and we would just get better overall gameplay because of it. And in some ways, that has been the case. There should definitely be a disclaimer when it comes to the simulation sliders, because the game isn't going to feel like FIFA. Like the FIFA you know anyway. It's going to feel very different. And no matter what slider sets you've used in the past, you might have been able to replicate this to some degree, but it's not going to feel the same. With the addition of the new wind effects in the game and weather effects this year, and just how much slower in pace the simulation sliders are, it's definitely going to be a big change. I guess when the question's being posed, should you guys use it? I think, in my opinion, I will always choose realism over entertainment, and I will always try and use a simulation style slider set. It doesn't mean they're always good though, but is this set good? And in my opinion, after playing these 30 hours, I actually think the simulation sliders are very good. Now, don't get me wrong. I said it before. It's going to feel very different. You're going to have low-scoring games. There's going to be a lot of 1-0s. While I was learning the slider set, you could see in the Spurs episodes, a lot of my games at the start of the season were just 1-0 wins or 1-1 draws or 0-0s. It was very rare that I scored more than 2 goals, and that's simply because the error is risen hugely in this slider set. This slider set was designed so that there's going to be a lot more mistakes in the game. Your first touch isn't going to be as good. Your players are going to make more mistakes. The marking is going to be insanely tighter. Teams are going to play more compact, which is going to make it a lot more difficult for you to break teams down. Now, I know slider sets are definitely for personal preference. You can have a great time playing on Classic. I've tried out Classic now. It's actually pretty good this year. It's still slower than years gone by, but this, you're going to notice the speed in it completely. It is a hell of a lot slower. Your passing is a hell of a lot slower. The players' reactions on the ball are a lot slower in terms of setting themselves in positions to shoot. And all around, that just makes this far more difficult in front of goal. Goalkeepers are improved. Defenders are better. But I like it. I genuinely do. I feel like this slider set was a really, really good addition from EA to finally look into sim gameplay, because these slider sets have been out on the internet for a long time. I've always used Operation Sports and other YouTubers' slider sets in the past, and I've always tried to promote them and show them off, and I've created my own in the past as well. But let's be honest, we don't understand and we don't know what a lot of this stuff does, because I'm not sure, no matter what you choose, that this actually changes stuff. I genuinely am not sure that if we change some of these sliders, that is actually factual. But what I do know from playing it is going to give you the most realistic gameplay just from this slider set that we've ever had. Now, there are already more slider sets out there, and I urge you guys to try them. I think trying different sliders and finding gameplay that suits you is a huge thing. And I think you're going to get a lot of fun and enjoyment out of that. I think I've spent hours upon hours in the past trying to find a slider set that worked for a YouTube series, and just trying to pick out a slider set that's going to give me goals, but is also going to give me some realism. I'm going to see some errors in there. It's going to be more difficult for me. The gameplay is going to be slower paced. And that has been hard in the past. So I am damn happy that we actually have a base slider set to work off. The only thing I really don't like is you can't edit the sim slider set. So when I've been playing around with sliders, I have to put these values in and then edit the sliders. I don't actually get to edit them through this, which I thought was a little bit weird, but it is what it is. I would like them to change that in the future. So if EA, if you're listening, I would love that. But yeah, you can't change the inputs from the sim. You have to go custom and then change the input. And in reality, it would be so much easier if they just change this and just allow us to just change them ourselves. Because I do think after the 30-hour-ish I've played of it, I would tweak these to a degree. Definitely one thing I would tweak is the injuries. They are still not apparent in this game. Injuries still don't bloody happen. I would guarantee if you put this up to 80 or 90, you still don't really get that many injuries. This has been a problem in the game for a long time, though. And it's going to be a continuous problem. I don't see this changing anytime soon. Yeah, if you can and you have the time that you want to put in to tweak these sliders, then put your injury frequency up. Because you're not going to get any. I've had one in my entire Tottenham series over an entire season. But despite that, all round, good slider set. I'm going to continue to use them. I am going to start tweaking them myself. And I've already started to tweak AI behavior because this is probably the biggest change when it comes to sliders this year. And it doesn't actually tell you, I wish it did, which AI behavior lines up best with a simulation game style. It just automatically sets it on tactical. And it's like, there you go, have fun. But the problem is with tactical is it's not realistic. Now, it's basically supposed to change how the CPU will play in decision making as the game goes on, which is realistic in the sense that, yeah, we want to see the CPU change how they're playing. They might get a bit more aggressive instead of being as laid back and so on and so forth as the game goes on, especially if they go a goal down or 2 goals down. But the problem I found with this, and I don't know if anybody else has, this is genuinely just welcome to my TED Talk where we talk about the simulation sliders. And I want to definitely get other people's opinions and your guys' opinions who watch stuff on the channel on how you found it. Because for me, tactical just turns teams into prime Barcelona. I'm playing Southampton. All of a sudden, they're one of the best playing teams in the league. I'm playing, I don't know, these rubbish sides. Sorry, Everton, but I'm playing Everton. And all of a sudden, they're just unreal. And it can only be down to this AI behavior. And that is a huge shame because I didn't want the AI behavior to be this thing that just gives, I don't know, the CPU hacks and makes them great. Like competitor mode did. This is basically the new competitor mode. And it sucks that it is basically the new competitor mode. You're going to see more skill moves. You're going to see all of that. If you leave it on tactical, it's going to be the same. If you put it on dynamic, there's going to be even more. It's going to be even more heightened. It's going to be like competitor mode on steroids. So I've tried both now, and I don't mind tactical because it's more subtle, but I don't like the effect it has. I don't like the changes it makes in game. I don't think they're good. I don't think they're realistic. And if anything, kind of started to ruin my enjoyment. And I have to say, I'm really, really enjoying the game this year. I think they have done a great job. This is my favorite launch that I have had in terms of enjoyment. And I think that is because we have so much more creative freedom with how the game plays. And that is a big win for EA. Finally, they have a win. They need some. Because in years gone by, this game has been terrible by the first patch. If we're honest, by launch day patch. We've had that, and we're surviving. The game is still a lot of fun. But when it comes to tactical, yeah, I've got no interest in using it anymore. I am now using custom AI behaviors. But obviously, when I chose to change the AI behavior, I didn't just do that. I did it with research. I looked into what other people were doing. I looked at what Cutsy was doing because I'm a fan of his content. And I also looked at what some other people was doing. I think it was Cookie Crusher. But anyway, I looked at these guys in the community and I looked at how they were tweaking the AI behavior for them to have the best enjoyment. This is what I've come up with. This is going to be tweaked consistently, but this is the AI behavior that I have decided that I enjoy at this moment in time. And I'm going to continue to tweak it. But since changing it, the game has felt a lot better. I'm not going to lie. Now, if we go through the AI behavior a little bit and we talk about why certain decisions have been made, we'll start with a tackle aggression. I've gone up to 85. I want more fouls in the game. It's realistic. I don't want reds, to be honest with you. The odd red here and there. but I want more tackles. I turned this up, and then all of a sudden in the Spurs career mode, we get our first penalty from open play. These things happen in football. I want that. Tackle aggression's up. Now, build-up speed I had lower, and I've raised it a little bit. I've raised build-up speed for my difficulty so that I don't have time to reset the defense. But in reality, if we were playing realistic, the build-up speed could be slower, but it's not fair because my build-up speed can be as quick as I want. So I have changed the build-up speed to 55. That means they should build a bit quicker, which will catch me off guard and therefore lead to them in better goal-scoring opportunities. I've turned up the shot frequency. They don't take enough shots. Byline, pass the ball in. That's the same reason with the crossing. We've turned it to 75. I want to see more crossing in the game. And coincidentally, changing the AI behavior has led to more crossing. The first touch pass frequency, because there should be more pass error and players shouldn't have the quality to do unbelievable first touch passes, I have put this at 40. I don't know if this will stay there because that will make the difficulty not as high. We're playing on legendary, by the way. But for me, the first touch pass frequency at 40 is pretty decent. The dribble frequency is down from 50, but not too much. I still want players to dribble. I don't want them to dribble too much though, because in real life, there's a lot more passing that happens in a game. And that's what I'm trying to provoke with these AI behaviors, is that my team's going to pass the football a lot more. And that's going to make this fun. And then skill moves is down to 30. I have seen less skill moves, and that's all that matters. I don't think you actually need it lower than 30, because I still want some skill moves in the game, especially from the players capable of it. I just don't want everyone to be able to do it. Like in past years when competitor mode has been on, it's kind of ruined it because you'd have Ashley Barnes doing 20 step overs and a ball roll and then scoring. I kind of don't want that in my game. I want it to feel as realistic as possible, but while still having plenty of chances in order for me to really put out good content. But all in all, my opinions of the game sliders and the simulation sliders in general, they're very good. I think pat on the back to EA. The addition of it is huge. And I think for those people out there that don't have time and don't care and have no want to care about slider sets and sliders in general, for them to be able to just flick on simulation, I think that's good. But I have had a few comments about how some people have found the way simulation feels, and I get it because I'm there, I'm playing it, I understand. But I would definitely now start looking into changing your AI behaviors, because the simulation sliders with the AI behavior tweaks, they've turned this into a pretty fun game for me. That's gonna be it. I like doing these kind of videos. I like standing in front of you people and talking about basically the game, how we make it better, how it can be more fun, all those kind of good things. But that's gonna be it, boys. I appreciate you all. Everyone who watched this one, you're a real one. Smash the like button, hit subscribe for more content. Obviously, we've got the Spurs series going at the minute, but this is gonna be a plethora of career mode content on this channel this year. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.